Alright, we got question number 11. In the diagram of triangle CAT below, the measure of angle A is 90 degrees, already labeled in there. An altitude AE is drawn, altitude meaning that it is perpendicular to the other side, making that 90-degree angles. Altitude AE is drawn from vertex A. Big idea with the altitude is that we know that these are all similar triangles, and we're setting up a proportion. And this type of question is easier if you remember the shortcut rules for these similar triangles. One rule is the altitude rule, where we've got the altitude going in there twice, and the two other pieces are the parts of the hypotenuse. Part 1 and part 2. And the other rule is the leg rule, where we've got the leg going in there twice, and the other two parts are the part close to the leg in the same triangle as the leg and the whole hypotenuse. And this is a tricky one because no numbers in here, but let's see if either of those rules apply to this one. Answer choice A is saying AE is in here twice. That's actually something that I'm looking for in all of these questions. I only see it in answer choice A and D, so I'm currently thinking that one of those two is going to be right. And AE, this would be the altitude rule. So let's see if it's correct. The altitude would be in there twice, which is our AE. AE and AE. And for our altitude rule, the other two pieces are the parts of the hypotenuse. So we've got CE and ET. Always love it when answer choice 1 is correct. If that makes perfect sense to you, feel free to stop watching now, but I'm going to try and figure out why answer choice D is wrong. So that one is AC twice, which means that we are using the leg rule, and that must mean that that leg rule is set up incorrectly. Let's see why. The leg rule says that you need to be using the part of the hypotenuse that is close to it, so we are still good, and as I said before, that's because we're dealing with this small triangle here. And the other piece is the whole hypotenuse, which would have been CT, and that is what is wrong with this one. And again, the reason that we would be using that is because we're talking about the big triangle. So the leg rule is similarity between the small triangle and the big one, and the altitude rule is similarity between the two small triangles that are in there.